Yo, bitches. Welcome to Last Call Reviews. We're reviewing Mad Max Fury Road. Yeah, Furry Road, yeah, because this is a movie for furries.
Being chased by a bunch of furries down the road. Meet with us.
Oh, dude,
Ouch.
a gizmo furry? That's fucked up. Don't fuck it after midnight.
Yeah. A bunch more furries pop out of them. That's horrifying. Bye-bye virginity.
Yeah. Oh, you very bad boy. This is our review of the new George Miller directed Mad Max movie, the fourth Mad Max film, The Return. Yes. The big explosion, motherfucking. You've seen the trailer where the guy's playing guitar and shit. Yeah. And we didn't see this movie at the same time. I saw it a few days ago.
Well, the thing is, I was stuck in a black hole for a few days, so we saw it together. Yeah. But I was in a different time zone as he was. So I was in Northern and he was in Southern Pacific.
Unfortunately, he got kidnapped and branded and got his hair cut.
Yeah.
And I was busy.
I kept seeing this weird girl that was older than my daughter.
Yeah.
Even though she died.
He kept thinking about one of the little sisters from BioShock, and it was really weird. This film starts with Mad Max, which is Max Ratansky, I think, played by Tom Hardy now, and he basically gets kidnapped at the first 5 minutes, barely.
Yeah, you know, it's weird. He kind of looks like somebody. I mean, the whole movie looks like The Hills Have Eyes 3.
Oh no, he looks like Jesus at the beginning.
No, he looks like Rob Zombie or something.
No, it's fucking. It starts metal as hell.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's the first move I've ever seen.
No, I got it, Lieutenant Dan when he grows his hair out on the shrimp boat.
No, it's the first move I've ever seen that begins with Tom Hardy eating a two-headed lizard.
Well, what I like about that is that it establishes the radioactive nuclear sci-fi universe that this is in. That this is science fiction mixed in, where it's like, we're not going to explain to you how this future is the way it is, but
it's this small opening to it before it just drops you in.
No, it's very much like the turtle head before a diarrhea shit, because this is a whirlwind of phantasmagorical imagery and insane heavy metal magazine popping out. Zack Snyder on cocaine.
If he wasn't a hack.
Yeah. Metalocalypse.
Yeah, if Zack Snyder had talent.
Yeah, basically. Well,
and really, it's funny. This actually has a lot of the same flaws of a Zack Snyder movie. Now I think about it.
That's true.
Like the dialogue and stuff is kind of stilted. Yeah. In a Zack Snyder movie, it'd probably be exactly the same.
No, it's not. It's not untrue. But yeah, he gets taken to this place that's run by Morton Joe, which is basically one of the last places with grass and vegetables and stuff.
You find out that Toe Cutter from the first movie survived.
Yeah.
And grew really old.
Yeah. But he's got the skull face, and he has these brides that he has sex with, and they have his children, and he raises them to be his religious zealot slaves.
There's a really controversial scene where he rapes one of the girls from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
In it.
Yeah. Da 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 da. Yeah. And then there's a Coke commercial. At the end of it, it's pretty surprising. Movie.
It's crazy.
But anyway, the bad guy has these girls that he rapes, and they have his children, and then I guess when they get older, he pumps their breast milk to feed people.
For the warriors.
Yeah.
Breast milk.
Warriors, come and drink. He's got baby bottles.
Oysters on his fingers.
Anyway, it basically one of his main people, Furiosa, who's Charlize Theron. She's one of his commanders or whatever, one of his generals or whatnot. Yeah. She's going to get oil. She has the wives as stowaways. The chase begins. Max teams up with her. Nicholas Hoult gets involved as one of the war boys, which is he's the son of
worships this king.
No, I love he's like it's like he sees someone out of a celebrity oh, he looked at me.
Yeah,
he looked at me. Oh,
I mean, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Everything we've said here, we said before and got deleted.
Yeah,
so it's going to seem staler than it should, but. Well, one thing I brought up in the last review that I really liked about the movie is that it treats this character like a pharaoh. Yeah. And it's very old historical, where he has these, drummers that follow him.
No, I love the bad guy. He's so over the top. Him. When I say Metalocalypse, I mean, over the top in that way. This is a fucking cartoon.
No, it is.
It's insane. When the bad guy's driving, the way he talks, it's my property! Yeah. And there's a tornado, and there's just these surreal images.
Into it.
And there's so much color and things happening, and it's it's really, I mean, like, it was a little overhyped to being a 2-hour car chase because there is a lot of breathing moments, and I just think it's quickly paced.
Yeah.
But you know, before we get into like what I really like about it, to get on some negatives, I don't think Tom Hardy's great as Max.
Max as a character just isn't given as much to do as he should.
I said to him after I saw it, it's like a B. It's a very adequate Max.
It's like a James Franco tier performance, where he half shows up
from a better actor. And I blame Miller a lot of it. Yeah. Although I know Hardy apologized recently at Con to Miller, so maybe there was trouble on the set. I
don't know. I just wish someone, Paul Dano could have been Max.
Yeah. His song from 12 Years a Slave.
Michael Cera. I don't know. Yeah. Come on, think outside the box.
Eisenberg, really? But and this isn't saying I love Tom Hardy.
Yeah,
I think Tom Hardy's great. I was excited to see him in this, but this is really Charlize Theron's movie as far as like really bringing the energy to it. She gives a very fierce and I think very like forward-thinking performance. She drives a lot of the movie's momentum with her facial expressions and who she is.
Well, she's kind of the character you want Max to be.
Yeah,
where she really does drive the plot forward and do most of the big action scenes.
She does.
Which is a strength and a weakness. It's cool to have a side character that's that prominent.
Yeah.
But the film has to reintroduce Max as a character, reestablish this universe. It's got Furiosa in it, Charlize Theron, that's a huge part of it. And then it's got all this other crazy stuff going on. It never really finds a focus properly.
I would argue that Max is in the movie more equally to Furiosa. And is somewhat the dramatic focus. It's just that there isn't a character that's being pushed much from there.
Yeah.
But I do think thematically there's a... I don't know. I think that there is an arc with him and her that the two kind of meet and they both come to the same conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that it's basically Max gets caught up in this thing. He has to help these people like Road Warrior. And then at the end, you know, he rides off in the sunset. I think that's really cool.
I mean, we've loved movies from the 80s with just a simple of storylines.
Exactly, and that's a good thing about
the movie. This is very like Miller. He has ambitions in all these places, but he does. If he had to pick being thematically rich and heavy and plot driven, which is really what you weren't going in for a Mad Max movie, but you end up liking those ingredients a lot. But instead he goes more for the spectacle. I'm going to give you this universe again on a bigger scale. This is made with $150 million. It's the Road Warrior bigger than it ever was.
It's a jump from Mad Max to Road Warrior, but for the modern generation.
Yeah, it's a reintroduction of this universe by paying homage to what's come before and really doing something that we haven't seen in a lot of movies, where it's a lot of stunt work. There's the Circus Soleil pole people, and I called them the porcupine cars.
Really original stunt. I mean, the whole movie, I don't think I've seen. It's as if Joe Dorowski directed Death Race or something.
I know. I do wish there was a stronger plot, and I do wish there was some more acting things, but I do think he does say he wants this to be like a silent film.
I guess my thing with the movie is it really does like establish itself immediately and just go at a running pace through the rest of it, which I like.
Yeah, it hits the ground running.
But to reintroduce all these things, I actually feel like a little bit of the connection was lost because of that on an emotional level, and if it's just an action movie, that's cool.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of thematic, emotional stuff throughout the movie, too, which I appreciate. But I do think it could have been better defined.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
If you had a better understanding of the characters and everything like that.
Oh, no, I agree.
The universe even.
It did leave me wanting a lot more, but it didn't leave me not wanting, like, sequels or more in the universe. Yeah. I want a lot more. Miller...
Well, at this point, I think he proved that
he's 70.
It works, yeah.
He's 70. He did it again. I mean, it's crazy when somebody comes back and they just nail immediately what was good about them before, about doing this kind of it's like, oh wow, you're just showing off now. You're
not that Martin Scorsese's going senile or anything, but when he did Wolf of Wall Street to show he still has that energy in a film.
Yeah, exactly.
And they could make such a youthful film.
I agree.
It felt that way, but much more shocking because it's not as if
Miller's
been working consistently.
No, and this is really, I think probably since Gravity, such a visual film that's told in big theaters, and this is a triumph for the cinematographer, the editor. There's things that are sped up. There's frame rate acceleration.
There's a lot of camera trickery.
Yeah, I mean, immediately there's just jump cuts. It's John Pierre Jeanette stuff, Terry Gilliam
I really
stuff.
did get that vibe from
It reminded me of
it's like an art house blockbuster.
In the biggest sense of the word, probably one of the biggest art house blockbusters I've seen.
Yeah, more so than the original movies.
No, think Babe, Pig in the City more than George Miller in Hate, like back in the early '80s. What I find like weird about it though is that I don't know. It's just weird that this even happened as a movie. I'd heard about it for years. Mel Gibson was going to be in at one point. Max, I think, wasn't even going to be a character.
Heath Ledger was going to be.
Yeah, he wanted Heath Ledger to play Max, which I
don't know why he didn't end up being in it.
Yeah.
What happened
there? His performance was pretty stale. Yeah. But oh shit. You want to make a confidential joke? Come with me.
I guess this channel's not going to be here in a week.
Yeah, the people are going to take us.
Find out.
But I guess we'll get to our last call. I'll say this. It was weird. There's a lot of hype for this movie. There was a lot of
anxiety.
There was a lot of reviews. If you go look it up, there's 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. You have a lot of critical acclaim. It goes up against Pitch Perfect 2 at the box office.
Yeah.
Me as a Mad Max fan, it's weird because I don't, this isn't one of my favorite movie series. It isn't like top 5, and I don't think any movie's a masterpiece. I think they're all really like rough around the edges and sloppy in parts. But I don't really disagree with anything Todd's saying though. I think Hardy's really weak. Well, not weak, but okay. And I think the plot could be better, and I think that, but. I don't know. There's just images like this person on stilts and this stuff, and this reminded me a lot of a movie we saw last year. Which
I remember. I know we didn't review it, but I'm thinking Interstellar.
Yeah,
if that's what you're going for.
Well, not entirely. I'm thinking more Snowpiercer.
Oh yeah, I got that vibe too.
We watched Snowpiercer, and I had a lot of problems with that movie dramatically and where the story arc went. But I said then, we both said that I thought that director created such a weird visionary world and did something that was really original, and how he took me there. I do think that story's a little bit richer in a part, but I do think this is more focused than that movie too. But I gave that an A- because of that visionary aspect of it, and I would say that this is like Fantasia 2001. You could have this on a TV on the background somewhere, or it's a visual masterpiece. And even though I don't think it's probably a masterpiece as a film per se, it is a great companion piece to The Road Warrior. I think it holds up well to that movie. I think Miller comes back with a lot of strength, and I think that I don't know, it shows that these old directors can come and still do something that a lot of these young filmmakers really need to learn from, that we've come this far with technology and they still haven't learned a lot of the basics.
Well, it's a rare case where the right amount of money goes to the right person.
Yeah.
You're not watching the movie like, why did they spend it on this? Why did they make this decision?
I mean, mostly do I think it's flawed? Yeah, but do I think it's got enough story and character to drive an action movie? Yeah. And it's a 2-hour action movie, and if you're talking just sheer spectacle, this is the most entertaining thing I've seen all year. Like I loved Kingsman, and it was really entertaining, but this was quicker.
Well, I feel
this was a 2-hour movie that felt like an hour and a half movie to me.
Where it reaches in ambition, it neglects at the heart of the film.
Mm-hmm.
And you just kind of fill it in on your own as the audience in a lot of ways.
I think there is like these odd Miyazaki, Nausicaa elements, or these.
It's a very foreign film.
Yeah, French or Italian.
For what it is.
But yeah, I that's weird to see in a blockbuster.
Yeah.
It was very interesting to set in a theater.
We'll see another film like that this year.
Yeah, so for that alone, yeah, it's an A- for me, just because it met my expectations in that level. And I hope he gets to make sequels and expand on this. I really think that George Miller, it's like, oh shit, you still have it. This really blew me. I mean, I even love Babe.
I agree with pretty much all those points. I think I would give it a B+.
Yeah, I was fighting.
I don't know why. I don't like giving out A- unless I feel like
A- are weird.
It's a tough one. Like a B+ is like it's a B movie that's almost an A.
Well, like I gave Edge Tomorrow a B+ last year, and this is like my same enjoyment level.
Exactly.
I just feel like it's a detriment to give B+ on someone because people are gonna think I'm disappointed. This is a really entertaining movie. Mm-hmm. Like I don't want to not sell this as a really fun time at the movies.
I guess my thing is how I always like to see like a B movie to me is like something that you watch and it's fun while you're watching and it's not forgettable. But you don't think about it a month later. Whereas an A movie is like almost perfect, and an A- movie is like almost there, just a little further off.
Yeah.
Whereas a B+ movie is like, this is a really, really fun movie.
Yeah.
And it's almost an A.
No,
but it's got a lot of work to do.
I know.
And that's how I feel about the movie in a lot of ways.
It's a movie I prefer talking about than rating.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to disagree with the critics who raved on this, and I don't want to disagree with people who are loving this, because I don't think anyone's wrong.
I liked it quite a bit. I don't love it.
No, me neither.
But I like it a lot. It's a really fun movie.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I'm very impressed with George Miller above all else, and I want to buy the Blu-ray. And
hopefully it just doesn't die before the next one.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder gets recruited to direct.
Yeah, and I heard he had 4 hours of footage, 400 hours. So I mean, there's got to be a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor.
There's probably at least 2 love subplots cut out. We need to see.
Yeah, but next time though, get Tom Hardy to do more. And I have no problem.
Bane in the next movie.
Well, he's Bane for half the movie. He's wearing that goddamn mask.
What if he literally fights Bane though?
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That's not your blood, is it, Max? But yeah, still though, good movie. You know, one of the better things ever. Much better than Age of Ultron.
Well, it reminded me a lot of like the Evil Dead remake.
Yeah.
Where it's not as good as the original ones for me, but it gets at heart in a lot of ways. Even though it's neglecting in some ways the originals did have.
Yeah.
But it's like, wow, you did a really good reimagining of this. It ties in well. And it's not the same thing, it's newer and different, but you appreciate it in a word of these cynical reboots.
No, yeah, you really do.
Cash grab franchises.
No, I'd prefer stuff like this to any remake or reboot.
Speaking of which, the Vacation trailer before the movie. We'll see how that goes.